welcome you back to the channel. I'm in my local area. I'm in the Moffat Hills. Aiming to camp on what's called a Donald. But I'll talk about names and all that kind of stuff once we get up. At the moment I'm doing one steep ass pull, so I'm not doing much camera stuff. I'm just getting myself up there and then we'll show you the camp when we get up. As you can probably see behind me as well, the view's already looking lovely. And it's going to get better and better as we get further up. Oh yeah, this is a leg puller and a half, that's for sure. But anyway, let me check in a lot further to the top. Oh, this is a very well earned summit. Oh, let me quickly spin you around. I've got a few choices in my head where I'm going to pitch. I'm looking just down there a wee bit, looking down at the water, so I'll head down there. There's a little breeze, but it's a nice breeze, you know, it's been quite a warm day again, so it's nice to get that. A little bit of cool down. That was tough a pull as I've had for a while, to be fair. Like I say, tougher on the legs and the calves particularly than any of the munros I've done recently. And that was tough going. Anyway, I'm going to put tent up. Probably just stick it on a time lapse for now. And I'll join you back. I'm all set up. Moves for the night. Oops, I lied, sorry. I decided just to get it put up. You've seen me put tents up in time lapses many a times, and maybe not so much that tent, but you've seen. I'll probably a little brief sample of the view. Looks outstanding, eh? Sunset's got to be going down in a couple of hours. So I've got plenty of time to get everything set up in my tent, get cosy for the night, get in my thermals, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to need to change out of my top pretty soon because I was sweating, so that's going to need time to dry out for the morning's walk back down. What a view, eh? What a view. Well, that's everything set up for the night. Got my bed and all up. I'll give you a wee quick look in a second. I'm just getting my wee thermal layers on. It's not cold, it's just about 8 o'clock, something like that. It's not cold at all, it's really nice, really nice. Although I think this might be the last night of what we've had, this little mini hot spell. I think it's supposed to drop and be a little bit colder, so like we're hoping to camp in a couple of nights, and we're half expecting to find that it might be some of the more winter gear on. I've got a new sleep system in here, but I'm not going to show you this tonight properly. I want a chance to test it first, but I'm not showing you because I've got something else to show you. It's in here. I'll save that for a bit later on. What I'm going to do is get my dinner on now, get some food in, and I'll show you what's in that wee bag. It's pretty cool actually. I think I like it. Right. I'll show you around the tent first, and then we get dinner on, eh? So currently the seating area right here. I've got my bag and then my change of clothes. I've left out puffer jacket and down bottoms there with warmer socks for night time if I feel like I need them. Then I've got my sleep system here, which I'm not going to show you any logos about because like I say, I'm going to talk about that properly on my next video. I've brought that with me as well, just in case I feel like I want to tuck myself in there. But again, it's supposed to be a lot warmer than the night. And then as you'll see, I have my electricals all goes to this side right now, and then we have that banging of a view for our sunset, and then I'll be opening that door, I would expect, for sunrise. wee pile of steaks for my dinner there, and just washing it down with my red wine. Yeah, so cheers everybody, eh? But that's not why I got the camera on. Got the camera on, so I'm going to show you what's in that wee bag now, eh? Pretty cool. Let me get it and I'll get you back in a second. What is that, I hear you ask? Well, it's a Glowmad by Chillbeam. It's a light. Oh, let me show you it from the back. It's got a little button there. 1, 2, 3, and emergency. But it's effectively a light, yeah? If I show you from the front, so you can see 1, settings going, and then off, yeah? It's also got, you'll see here, little magnets and little straps as well, so depending on whether you can use it, you want to use it magnetic wise, which I can't do quite so well in here, but I can use little attachments, eh? So my plan is to get it hung up like so, or I was going to put it at the back like so, and then it becomes my big light for the tent, you know. But it's also got a little party piece, as you'll see there. There's this little solar panel. If I unplug this, like so, and then I can plug these in, and it means I can charge my phone, which is actually pretty cool. So yeah, that's my little thing I wanted to show you, my little Chillbeam. So I'll put it up and I'll show it in action as well as the night goes on. So that's pretty cool, you know. Something a bit different. I made up my mind I wasn't going to do too much filming tonight, and that's largely because the last, I think, 3, potentially 4 videos have all been reasonably long, so I thought I'll keep this one a bit shorter, you know, short walk, short video, eh? Yeah, I'm just going to take a wee wander up to the trig point now. I'll give you a quick look round. I'm up there, maybe, I'll leave that in the morning. Nah, I'll leave that in the morning. I'm going to be walk up anyway, stretch your legs. But for me, I'm going to settle in for the night, and I'm going to make this last piece of camera before I actually get settled. Once it gets dark, I'm probably going to get an early night, put a star lapse on, I think, overnight, and see what we see. Been a couple of wee aurora alerts this morning, but nothing major, so I wouldn't expect anything. But it's supposed to clear up and be a reasonably clear sky in for the overnight, and we'll see what we get in the morning. But yeah, I'm going to go and get myself tucked in and get settled in with a couple of wee drinks, and yeah, I'll maybe show you my wee Glowmad light a bit more as it gets dark. But in terms of chat to the camera, I'm going to make this my last one, and I'll give you a couple of bits of footage of the tent and stuff before I finish off for the night. So, in the morning. Whoa. I did say I wasn't going to do any more bits to camera before I went to bed, but I thought I'll just do one wee last wee bit. Now I've got the Glowmad light by Chillbeam up. I've got it hanging actually, and you see it works perfectly, eh? Straight down. I think that's one that's brighter setting. Maybe the second one is really bright, eh? Yeah. I'll put a little thing on the thing now of a wee code, so you can get yourselves a little cheeky discount, and yeah, you can chuck me and you can thank me for that one. No worries. I'll take the credit for that. Nah, seriously, I don't get any commission for it, but you know. They gave me it for free to test out and try it, and I got one. It's Alex class. I actually, to be brutally honest, I said yes to it because I've got a washing line, right, which, you know, the stupid story coming up here, but I've got a washing line that has like a really big pole that sits at an angle, and when we were having a barbecue that week back, I kept thinking to myself, God, I could do a light out here, it'd be nice having a light. So with that thing being magnetic, it attaches to that well, you know, really easily. Unfortunately, when you come camping, we don't really take much things that are, you know, magnetic. You know, your poles for your tent or for your walking poles are generally aluminium or titanium or carbon, which aren't really magnetic. So the magnetic part isn't really a factor for us. However, it has multiple little attachments for then you be able to hang it off things, like I've got there, hanging it straight down, or the two at the back that I showed you earlier on. It's really versatile, and it's got that little feature where it's got a solar panel for recharging it back up for multi-days and for charging up your phone or an appliance if you need it. So I think it's a really fast charge. I charged my phone off it the other day back at home just to test it out. It was like 30 minutes from 20%. It really went up quick. So top little bit of kit, and packs, as you've seen, pack's pretty small. Put it in the top lid, didn't even notice it was there. Yeah. So yeah, on that note, I'm just going to chill for a bit. Probably watch a couple of YouTube videos. I've got loads to catch up on because I've not been able to get on for the last few days or so. So if you start getting comments off me and wondering, I've not heard from for a while, it's probably because I'm sitting in a tent watching your video. Failing that, I might go and get a time lapse out now. Now it's just about getting dark enough for that. And all else fails, I'll check in the morning. A good night. Hi, and it is good morning. Got the coffee on. Got my door open like I said last night, so just watching the sunrise on its way up. Just about 10-15 minutes away from peeking over the horizon now. Bit of clouds, so we'll see how it goes. And then I'll give you a proper look at the view before we pack up. One thing I'm going to say is I really misjudged the line of the grass last night when I was pitching up. It looked like it was a bit of a kind of flat part here. No, it's like that. So all night I've been kind of sliding down. I moved around, my head hit at one point. Annoyingly, because everything else has just been like the sleep system that I've picked up was phenomenal, like so warm. I didn't have any of my downs like that on. I've only just put it on when I went out. Which again, I'm going to talk about this on my next camping trip, so you need to look out for that one. And yeah, been a lovely wee camp. So I'm going to get my coffee, say enjoy the views, and then pack up in about maybe an hour or so. In a bit. I am just been giving the drone a bit of a fly. I'm sure you've probably just seen me some form of a wee music montage, I guess. Cracking morning, although we are getting a bit of cloud come over now, so I think the sun that I've just been getting it's probably going to be going behind the cloud soon, and we're not going to see much more of it for a wee while, I don't think. This is a good time for me to start thinking about getting everything packed away, which I'm going to do. We'll go for a pee and stuff, and then change out all my down gear and my thermals. Planning going out tomorrow, and I'm going out with a few people. I'm not going to say who, I'm not going to say, I'm going to keep you guessing a wee bit. I actually don't know where we're going yet. There's been quite a debate about where it's going to be the pitch and what's going to happen, so you can find out when I find out, kind of thing, yeah. But yeah, so what I need to do is make sure that as I'm packing the bag, I'm packing it with intentions for tomorrow. Definitely not taking this tent, the Asta Gear. I've been out in this now, was that 3 times in a row? Yep, 3 times. So I always kind of feel like when I like to change it up, and there's a good potential it's going to be a lot colder, so I'd rather have a slightly thicker tent. So I'm either going to go with the MSR or the Simune Mackerel 2, so different tents for you to see. Anyway, that's what we're getting time lapsed as I'm putting it away, and then I'll join you guys in the way down. I'll stop off at the trig point as well, just so I can actually tell you where I'm at. I don't like to hide the location, so I'll give you the name of this Donald as I'm walking down. Right, catch you in a wee minute. Oh, well, it might be May, but we still get that bitingly cold nip in the hands when they get wet in the mornings. I feel that. I'll give you a wee last look. Still got that really steep drop to go. This is why I'm keeping the poles out for this one. Didn't want them in the way up. I knew I'd have to do a bit of, at some point, well, scrambling, I guess is the best way to say it. But on the way down, I'll need them for support. Alright, I'm almost at trig point, and that's where I'm going to finish my last piece to camera. Hi. There we are. Yeah, once again, trig point, let me get a better angle. And this is Gerelet Hill, which is not a Donald, it's a Donald top. I can't actually remember the difference between the two of them, unfortunately. But I've done a few of them without knowing, when you come up and do these hills. So I can see Hartfell, White Coombe over in distance as well, just not quite the full summits. Same with Broadlaw, it's behind me there. Can't quite see its radar, but it's virtually there. Only when it's in the cloud. Right, so that's the last thing I'm going to say. Maybe film a wee bit as I'm getting down, but for me, Robert, Moffat Adventures. Hope you enjoyed this little mini one. Check you guys in the next one. Stay safe, everyone, and enjoy your camping life.